Hello, my friends. Today you are going to hear an extract from the novel Unequal Music written by Vikram Seth. Before we listen to the text, let's learn some new words in order to understand it better. To move off. To move off means to move away from a place. For example, please move off our lawn. The kids moved off the bed when I entered the room. Sarah waved her hand and the car moved off. A commotion. A commotion is a state of agitated disturbance and confusion. We were distracted by a commotion across the street. Some people were arguing and cursing each other. Those of us on the ground were wearily getting ready to give up for another night when the terrible commotion began. To be mystified. To be mystified means to be utterly bewildered, puzzled, or confused. She was completely mystified by his disappearance. We were totally mystified by her decision. She won't be able to manage the farm herself. Never had she seen him so angry, and it was all mystified and unreasonable to her comprehension. Dismay. As a noun, it's a feeling of unhappiness and disappointment due to concern and distress caused by something unexpected. To his dismay, she decided to leave him. As a verb, it means to make someone feel unhappy and disappointed, concerned, or distressed. The crowd continued to show their dismay at the decision. Clench. To clench means to close together or grasp something, the hands, teeth, etc. firmly or tightly. A boy clenched the blanket in his hand. Now he worked with clenched teeth, angry and annoyed with his boss's impertinence. Impertinence means lack of respect, rudeness. Rummage. To rummage means to search unsystematically but thoroughly through something like a place, bag, etc. She rummaged in her bag for a handkerchief. We rummaged through all the drawers looking for the missing document. As a noun, it is a thorough but unsystematic and untidy search. Look at those items over there. They are at the rummage sale. I had to rummage around the room, but I couldn't find my passport anywhere. A satchel. A satchel is a rectangular bag carried on the shoulder by a long strap usually worn diagonally to cross the body and closed by a flap, used specially for school books. All they carry in their little satchels are their lunch boxes. What is hidden at the bottom of the satchels of these young students? Perplexity. Perplexity is a state of confusion, inability to deal with or understand something. They were staring at the instruction booklet in complete perplexity. He began counting the money and after a while, confused and with growing perplexity, found out that a certain amount is missing. To give a wide berth to someone or something is an idiom. It means to keep away or keep a safe distance from someone or something. She usually gives a wide berth to her father when he's angry. Peter tends to give the city center a wide berth on Monday mornings because it's so crowded and busy. Weave. As a verb, it means to form something like a fabric or a fabric item by interlacing threads, to move around in a devious, winding or zigzag course, especially to avoid obstacles. This type of wool is woven into fabric which will make warm coats. The cyclists wove in and out of the traffic. As a noun, weave is a particular style and way in which cloth has been woven, like a pattern. This piece of cloth is of a very fine weave. To interpose. To interpose means to put oneself between one thing and another, to place oneself in an intervening position, to intrude. He interposed himself between the quarreling parents. It can be dangerous to interpose yourself between a catfight. Plead. To plead means to make an eager and emotional appeal, to make a statement of what you believe to be true in order to support someone or something, to argue a case in a court of law. He was on his knees in front of her, pleading for forgiveness. The defendant pleaded not guilty to the charge of an attempt to commit a crime. Gasp. To gasp means to catch a short, quick breath with an open mouth owing to pain, surprise, or astonishment. An old woman gasped in horror at the sight of the photo. He opened the box and gasped to see all the treasure inside. Feat. A feat is an extraordinary act or achievement that requires great courage, skill, or strength. Building the skyscraper was an engineering feat. His feat was rewarded by an enthusiastic applause. He has performed a remarkable feat of stamina. I hope you've understood the meanings of the mentioned words. Now listen to the extract carefully and try to memorize the details as much as possible.
Unequal music. In the bus directly opposite, at the window directly opposite, is Julia. Her bus has stopped at the traffic light. I begin to pound the window and shout, "Julia! Julia! Julia! Julia!" She cannot hear me. We're in separate worlds. "Stop reading, Julia. Look! Look out of the window! Look at me! Oh, God!" Around me, the passengers stop talking. In the bus opposite, no one seems to notice. I keep pounding the window. At any moment, her bus or mine could move off. A man sitting behind her notices me and the commotion that has resulted. He looks mystified but not alarmed. I gesticulate and point desperately, and with great hesitation, he taps Julia on the shoulder and points at me. Julia looks at me, her eyes opening wide in what? Astonishment? Dismay? Recognition? I must look wild, my face red, my eyes filled with tears, my fists still clenched. I'm a decade older. I rummage around in my satchel for a pen and a piece of paper, write my telephone number in large digits and hold it against the glass. She looks at it, then back at me, her eyes full of perplexity. Simultaneously, both buses begin to move. My eyes follow her. Her eyes follow me. I look for the number that's on the back of the bus. It is 94. I get to the stairs. I am given a wide berth. The conductor is coming up the stairs. I can't get past him. I am losing time. I am losing it. Finally, I get down, push my way past a couple of people, and jump off the moving bus. Weaving across the traffic, I get to the other side. I have lost too much time. Her bus has moved away. I try to push through the crowd, but it is too thick. I will never catch up. A taxi lets out a passenger. A young woman, her hands full of shopping, is about to grab it when I interpose myself. "Please," I say. "Please." She takes a step back and stares at me. I get into the cab. To the taxi driver, I say, "I want to catch up with the number 94 in front." We move forward. The lights turn yellow against us. He stops. "Couldn't you go through?" I plead. "It's not red yet."
"I'll get my licence taken away," he says, annoyed. "What's the hurry anyway? You won't save much time."
"It's not that," I blurt out. "There's someone on that bus I haven't seen for years. I've got to catch it."
"Take it easy, mate,"
says the driver. But he tries his best. After one more tricky feat of overtaking, the driver says,
"Look, mate, I'm nearer, but to be quite honest, I won't make it. Your best bet now is to get out and run for it."
"You're right, thanks."
"That's £2.60.
I only have a £5 note in my wallet. I tell him to keep it and grab my satchel. I know I have no chance against the crowds on the pavement. My one hope is to run between the opposing streams of traffic. Sweating, diesel-gassed, unable to see clearly through my most inconvenient tears, I run and gasp and run. I catch up with the bus a little before Oxford Circus. I try to run up the stairs, but can't. I walk up slowly, in hope and in dread. Julia is not there. I go to the very front and look back at every face. I go downstairs, I look at every face. She's not there.
Now, let's answer several questions related to the text. At the beginning of the story, the buses they were sitting on stopped at the bus station, the traffic light, the traffic sign. It is the second one. The buses stopped at the traffic light. The next question. At the stairs of the bus he was given a wide smile, a wide hug, a wide berth. He was given a wide berth. In the end of the extract, he managed to get on the bus he was chasing but didn't find Julia, managed to get on the bus he was chasing and found Julia sitting upstairs, didn't manage to get on the bus at all. It is the first one. He managed to get on the bus he was chasing, but he didn't find Julia. Now, let's remind ourselves of the meanings of the new words. Look at the words and look at the explanations. Connect the words with their meanings. We can do that together. A commotion. What does the word a commotion mean? A commotion is a state of agitated disturbance and confusion. To rummage. What does the word rummage mean? To rummage means to search unsystematically but thoroughly through something. Clench. What does the word to clench mean? To clench means to close together or grasp something tightly. To gasp. To gasp means to catch a short, quick breath owing to pain or surprise. Dismay. Dismay is a feeling of unhappiness and disappointment due to concern and distress caused by something unexpected. And in the end, feat. A feat is an achievement that requires great courage, skill, or strength. I hope you liked this video presentation and I hope you were able to learn some new words. Until next time, goodbye.